Kamala, I love you. You always have my back. You're really amazing. You're the best partner I could imagine.
Sweet. But why? Why now? The president set off a social media firestorm with that exchange during a virtual meeting with the DNC. Social users calling it wildly creepy and beyond phony, fake and gross, nauseating. The president appeared to be trying to boost support for the vice president, who's been suffering reports of dissent in her office, lots of people leaving, and several PR gaffes. Latest Fox News polling with her job approval at 43%. That's 7 points down from just June. Wow. Tammy Bruce, Fox News contributor and host of Get Tammy Bruce on Fox Nation.
Hey.
Tammy, great to see you today. First of all, let's not lose sight of who the audience was. It wasn't really all of us. It was for the Democratic National Committee. Why that performance for the DNC?
It's very strange, you know, because if somebody we knew spoke to us in that manner, we would call 911 because something was wrong with this person and their delivery, and you don't know where that comment is heading and why they're saying that to you. But what's very strange is exactly that, is that for some reason there is a need for him to reassure the DNC that the president has the vice president's back, as though this is some separate group that doesn't understand both of them, doesn't know both of them, doesn't see the reports we see, unless it was a request of hers that she is supported in front of that group. Because remember, she's also thinking about 2024. So it's a matter of her thinking about her own relevance, I think. And this may have been a request. And of course, this is the horrible dynamic. He did it, but in a manner that clearly was absurd. I don't know if that was because it's him or because it was almost like a hostage video where you're saying what you're supposed to say, but you want everyone to know you really don't mean it.
Well, let's hope not.
No.
Let's hope they really like each other. And if they do, I don't want to be crass, but who cares?
Well, yes, exactly.
I just want to know if he believes she can get the job done and is going to hold her feet to the fire if and when she doesn't. And which side of what he's given her is something that he truly can talk about in a positive manner. I just want to know about that.
That is an excellent observation, because that's what the American people are worried about. When you're doing this, it tells you that, once again, they're still looking at the wrong things. They're concerned about the wrong issues, especially with everything that's happening in the world right now.
Well, more than 30,000 protesters, speaking of the world, taking to the streets in our world, Washington, D.C., over the weekend, calling for an end to COVID-19 mandates. Watch.
Medical freedom has been hijacked by hospitals, by insurance companies, by the government, and by big pharma. Doctors, now is the time to stand up and save our profession.
Dr. Fauci again stating what he sees as our best case scenario with the coronavirus pandemic.
Control means you're not eliminating it, you're not eradicating it, but it gets down to such a low level that it's essentially integrated into the general respiratory infections that we have learned to live with. We'd like it to get down to that level where it doesn't disrupt us in the sense of getting back to a degree of normality. That's the best case scenario.
You do realize that that's fancy for flatten the curve.
It's fancy for flatten the curve, and it's a word salad for herd immunity. And he just did not want to. He did not want to say that word, because that's herd immunity. If there's anyone who he's been the face of this pandemic, and this pandemic has been a disaster, and yet there he is still being taken seriously. Now, you might not have agreed with everyone who was speaking at that rally, but we're not the only ones having them. These rallies against mandates and control are all around the world. And this is at a point where they realize, Fauci at one point said several weeks ago that certain things weren't going to be planned for because of the mood of the country. And that's fascinating, because they realize that they've screwed it up like everything else. And the Americans have recognized that. And what we want is what we've always wanted, which is the ability to have a private relationship with our doctors, making decisions about our health care with information provided by the CDC, which is fine. But it's remarkable that they're still trying to have this be an emergency, and that we're still supposed to be taking orders from an unelected bureaucrat who has failed.
If we can go forward and start to treat this, as many doctors have said on this very program, like it's going to be around for a while, if we can get there, we can take the emergency out of it, put the urgency into the therapeutics and the things that take us forward.
That's right. But with the emergency, they're able to do so much more without doing it through the regular avenues, aren't they? Yeah,
wow.
they
well,
like
that's
that
the politics
emergency.
of it.
Yeah.
That's because where we were with former President Trump is get Operation Warp Speed, get those vaccines, get us a way to take the next steps. And we were technically still kind of there.
That's right.
All right. Former New York Times writer Bari Weiss blasted COVID mandates over the weekend. Quick, let's watch.
I'm done with COVID.
Oh,
I'm done. So many of my liberal and progressive friends are with me on this, and they do not want to say it out loud because they are scared to be called anti-vax or to be called science denial or to be, smeared as a Trumper. This is going to be remembered by the younger generation as a catastrophic moral crime. I think it's a pandemic. It's like at this point, it's a pandemic of bureaucracy. It's a pandemic of bureaucracy. It's not. It's not real anymore.
Tammy.
Well, look, this is the real crisis, in addition to the pandemic, is the fact that what she said is that liberals don't want to be honest about it because they don't want to be called a name. Shame on them. Step up. This is about everyone's children and about our future. Don't let them take control of our future that way.
All right, you get the last word, Tammy Bruce. Thank you for being in focus.
Thank you,
Outnumbered after the break.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.